so employees. So you can't grow a business unless you delegate. And I love telling people, if McDonald's can be a multi-billion-dollar industry off the back of minimum wage workers that don't even care about their job, but they can still provide a consistent experience, if they can do that, then every company in the world should be able to. But it feels like employers are always saying, oh, my employees aren't smart enough, they don't care enough, they don't put the effort in. First of all, let's start. What hiring mistakes have you made in the past, and how bad was it?
Yeah, so we have definitely made some hiring mistakes. And I think one of the biggest ones is just hiring in a hurry, right? So we always have a motto where we say, quick to fire, slow to hire, right? Just because sometimes you're in that moment, you're like, oh, we got to get somebody. And then all of a sudden you get them and they don't have any of our core values. They don't believe in anything that we wanted, but it was just like, we were in such a hurry. So that is one thing that we try to do, is to really go over our core values, see if they align with those. And then if they do, bring them on. But that's what we...
How about you?
I would say probably not the opposite, but I think waiting too long in your business to hire somebody, thinking that you can do everything yourself for so long. I think that was one of the biggest mistakes that I made as a solopreneur for quite a long time. I was like, I can do everything myself and I can do it better, you know? Like, what is that saying that people always say? If you want it done right, do it yourself. So I think that was my biggest hiring mistake, is not actually hiring people.
I love that. All right. So if you wouldn't mind diving a bit deeper, how bad was that? What did that lead to? Like the mistake of not hiring somebody, how did that play out for you?
Yeah, so for 3 years, I did everything myself and my business plateaued very quickly just because, you know, I am one person and I cannot do it all myself. But I thought that if I tried to delegate the things, that they were not going to be done right. And that was a huge mistake, because now I have people that actually can do these things better than I can.
How did you first make that transition to taking on the first person?
Actually taking videos of everything that I actually do. So as I was doing it, I would start to take videos and really document the entire process. So that way somebody who I can like kind of clone myself, like here's exactly step-by-step what I'm doing, and makes it easier.
I love that. And how about you? What a direct experience of doing this?
Yeah. So same thing with us. We definitely have protocols and procedures in place now. And I think, just like you said, we want someone, if you can work at McDonald's, you could work at RCMC, right? Because you're going to have the same protocol, the same procedure, no matter who you're seeing. So just like you, whenever we hire someone, we have all of our Loom videos. So whether you're my front desk girl and you're like, well, I don't know how to do this. Okay, go pull up the Loom and you can see exactly how that's supposed to be put in or put done. Whether you're one of my coaches and you're like, oh, what program is that? Go pull up that Loom video and you can see exactly how it's being done.
Love it. Do you have a process for creating those videos, or is it just like, turn on Loom and see what happens?
So actually, yeah, anytime that I'm training somebody, I have a Loom on me. So if somebody's in the process of being trained, we make sure that that is being a Loom video. So if someone else has that same question, they can go to that Loom video and know. So anytime we're training, it's always done through Loom.
I love that. And how about you? Do you have the same thing?
Yeah, exactly. It's like whenever I'm like starting to do something new, I'm like, I'm just going to record myself doing it. So it's so much easier to actually go back. And
all right. So here's a good question. Let's say you've got an employee that you're working with and repeatedly they're making a mistake. So I'll give you an example. Let's just say that your child's job, your employee's job is to change the cat litter every day. And he decides that today it's too cold outside of his bed. And so, or to come to work. And so he won't get out of his bed, despite the fact that these cats clearly have to have their cat litters changed every day. How would you handle that situation if it was an employee that was giving you the same kind of trouble, despite the fact that they're only 7?
And of course, just be really upfront. And so we make all of our KPIs very, very clear too of what they need to be doing every day. So we really set those expectations up front. And then if they are not doing them, we just have that conversation about like, oh, what happened today? Why did we not do this? If it happens once, okay. If it happens twice, it's going to become a habit. So we try to nip it in the bud right away.
Nice. And is there any kind of like punishment procedure you recommend, like timeout?
We do not do punishments, no.
Let's just say that they didn't do it over and over again for a period of time. What would disciplinary action look like, if at all?
Of course, yeah. So we usually give them like 3 warnings and then we let them go. Okay. So give them 3 small warnings. Like the first one, like, oh, just don't let it happen again. And we try to keep track of everything that they're doing.
Love that. Do you have a specific person that does that, or is that something you just...
That would be me.
Nice.
I'm the integrator.
I love that. Do you have a visionary as well in the company?
Yes, my husband.
Oh, nice. Okay, got it. So you guys are a double team. Excellent. How about you? How do you go about handling?
So for us, which we are not the best at disciplinary, which we are trying very hard, but we have like a bonus system in place. So for example, one of ours is for some reason, it's very hard for employees to get there just on time. So if they are late one day out of the month, then they get 10% of their bonus taken away. If they're late 2 days out of the month, they'll get 20% of their bonus. If they're late 3 days a week, they don't get a bonus anymore. So we try to make it because we're all about a community at ours. And so we don't want to do that. And so we try to give them as many chances as possible. But sometimes you do have to just be like, hey, I'm sorry, we've given you 3 chances. So now you don't.
I love that. And who's in charge of implementing that in your company? Is that you? Or do you
So we have like regional managers. We have, so the office manager is in charge of keeping track of who's been late and not.
I love that. So in our company, one of the things that we do is we hire for core values specifically. And during the hiring process, we will list all the core values in the company, and we'll say to the employee, prospective employee, what do you think about these values? Are these things that you believe in and that you would follow? And if any of the employees are like, oh no, that one sucks, that's not me, we're just like, oh, well, yeah, you're not right for this company. So we think that core values are a key component in hiring the right kind of person. Are there any tips or tricks you have for hiring people to make sure you get the right person?
Yeah, so we are the exact same way. So we'll read over our core values with each of the employees and say, hey, how do you feel about this? What do you think about this? But for us, it's more important that we will actually have them come in and train like with that position for a week. Like we won't hire anybody. And then whoever's training them or whoever the manager is, we say like, are we sure, right? Because when you're doing an interview, they're all perfect. Oh yeah, I love those. Those are my core values. But once they actually have to get in there and do that work for 1 week, we tell them you are not hired. You're going to first come train for a week. And then if you fit along with our community, because to us, that's the biggest factor, I tell everyone you're working with these people more than your family. So if you don't like this person when they're here, they are not part of our family. So in that first week, if they don't fit in, then we don't hire them.
Love that. And you?
Yeah, core values are very important. We also set up kind of tripwires too, to kind of like give them little mini tests to make sure, they're kind of don't fail them right away. Cause it's very easy. Like you said, everybody wants to yes you and be like, of course I will follow all of these, no problem. But yeah, definitely kind of set up little tests for them.
Do you have an example of a test that like you could trick me with right now? And I'd put you on the spot. It's fine if you don't. But...
I do not.
Okay, yeah. But what kind of test might you guys use?
Yeah, so we do, so when we're actually hiring, we call them tripwires, but we get like we do mostly VAs. So we do lots of applications and we ask them like right away, like, can you please put an asterisk in the email? When you email me your application, can you please send me your resume in a separate email? So we kind of sort them out right away, kind of like, can they follow simple instructions? So that really helps too.